break. I was already annoyed when I got the email from TWU that they had assigned me a new roommate. So while I'm on winter break, she had emailed me to my TWU email address. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chansey. Today we are going to do my nails. They look rough, but we're gonna do my nails at home. Save some money. I usually do the stickers, but today I think I'm going to polish them. This is OPI. I feel like this, and I have one other one, I think it's called Zoya, Z-O-Y-A. I feel like these are the ones that last the longest, like on your nails. I think I could get like 4 or 5 days out of them before they start chipping. And all the other little ones that I have, they start going away like after like 3 days. I feel like they start chipping, but it's temporary, so we're gonna paint them today. So I got all my supplies here, and in honor of my book that I just put out, which is available on Amazon, I'll put it up here somewhere. Get my book on Amazon. I wanted to do a little story time while I paint my nails. So this story time is not in the book, but just a little sample of something, and we'll just do it while I paint my nails. So let's get started. All right, so let's start. So if you're new here, I try to do stuff like I'll go get my toes done sometimes, but for the most part I try to do my own. Got my polish remover. I have some polish on here, but I try to do like nude color, so when it chips you can't really see it. But all right, so let's talk about the story time while I do my nails. So this story is back in my college days, and spoiler alert, I don't know what I'm gonna title it, but like college horror story. Spoiler alert, I was the horror. Right, so I know people try to do story times about when it's somebody else's fault and what everybody did to them. This is one where I was the problem. So I went to TWU. It's a majority like women's school. I think it's like maybe 30% males now. And this is a while ago. I know I look young, but I graduated in 2012. So this was junior year, I believe. So, all right. So a little backstory for maybe some justification. All right, so when I first went to TWU, freshman year I went to a community college. I recommend doing community college as long as you can before you go off to school and do and pay like the expensive money if you don't have scholarships, of course. But so take care of if you're paying out of pocket, take care of all of your basics out the way at a community college. I did 1 year at a community college. I should have did 2. So I entered college at TWU my sophomore year. And the first year, just for a little background, the first year that I moved into the dorms, I was in a room. Is this sun bright? Let me close it. I think it's a glare or something. But the first year I was in the dorms, and I had a roommate. Her name was similar to mine. We'll just call her Shay or something. But I had a roommate. Her name was Shay. She was cool. She was Canadian. She was from Canada, and she was also on the gymnast team in gymnastics or whatever. And when I first got there, which I didn't know until I saw a different room, like we had a corner room, and all of the corner rooms in the dorms were smaller, significantly smaller than the rooms on the main floor that weren't in the corner. So we were smashed in, but I didn't know because that was my first year. But when I started seeing other people's rooms, I could see they had regular size rooms. So she was cool. She wasn't bad. Like she was super nice, but she would do like little things that possibly like annoy me a little bit. So one thing is like, so she was on the gym. She was in gymnastics. So she was on the She was a gymnast. And so they used to have to get up and do like practice at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So she would set the alarm to get up at like 5 to get ready. So she would set her alarm, that would go off, and people would be calling her to remind her. And then she also had this like house phone. And even though like this was a while ago, like house phones still were almost over with. We did have like a phone cord. We had like a cordless phone in the room, and she would have like a voicemail, and people would be calling that, and it would ring loud. And I'm like, why does she have this like house phone in the room? Because she had a cell phone. So that would go off, her alarm would go off, and she would hit like snooze on her alarm. And the bathroom was on my side of the room, so she would go across my side of the room and go in the bathroom, and like, getting herself together. She'd be running water, brushing her teeth, or doing whatever, getting herself together in the room, in the bathroom. But then I guess she would hit snooze and forget, and then so the alarm would go off again after like 5 minutes. And then it happened multiple, not every day, but multiple times a week, where I would hear her in the bathroom. When she cut the water off, she would hear the alarm going off again, and she would like, oh shoot, sorry, and she'll run out the room and turn off the alarm, and then go back in the bathroom and get ready. So that was annoying. And then her friend that was also on the team lived like a couple doors down, in the dorm room down. And so she would come and knock on the door to get her and make sure she was ready. So she needed like 3 alarms and some phone calls to make sure she was up on time to go to practice. So that was annoying. And not that I had an issue with it, but I had a TV, and this was so it wasn't even nothing. This was an old, big back, bulky TV that I had. When I moved in the room, she didn't have a TV, which I don't mind. I put it up there. She can watch it, like whatever. I didn't mind her using my TV. TW is only like an hour away from my hometown, so usually I would go home every weekend. And if I didn't have class on Fridays, I would usually leave on Thursday to go home. But I think I had something to do, like a project or something, one weekend, and I didn't go home. I stayed, but I guess she thought I was going home. So I came in late, and it was like her and a bunch of girls like in the room. And then she looked at me. She was like, oh, we were having a movie night. We were about to watch a movie. And I was like, oh, I don't care. Like, whatever. They were trying to watch a movie on my TV. But since my TV was so old, and flat screens was out by this time, but since my TV was so old, you needed like a VCR to connect some type of cord to that, to connect it to a DVD player to be able to watch movies. Like, you had to connect it and do all this stuff, so you couldn't really do it. So they were trying to like set up the TV to watch a movie, but they couldn't do it because my TV was so old. But it was like, you planned this movie night where you thought I was going to be out, which is not a big deal, but you didn't say nothing. And then she would hit me with like, you can join us. Like, yeah, I can join you if I want to join you in my TV. Like, but whatever. So they had to go to the other room, and that's when her friend's room, to watch the movie, and everything moved over there. And that's when I seen the room was different and bigger or whatever. So that was that. But everything, she was pretty cool. And then the only other thing is, when I got there, like, I brought my mini fridge. I guess she had stayed or got there earlier before me, like in the summer, since she was a gymnast, to start practice or whatever. She had to be there first. So she had got into the room first. And I guess the room had already came with a mini fridge, but I didn't know that. And I brought my own anyway. So I just set mine on top of hers. But before she knew I had one, she was like, oh, you can share mine with me, as if it was hers. And then come to find out later, when we moved out of the dorm room, that wasn't even her mini fridge. That was the fridge that came with the room. But she was like presenting it as if she was sharing with me. But other than that, she wasn't bad to live with or whatever. But the next year, I made sure to apply for a bigger room, get on the list earlier or whatever. So this brings me to my next roommate. I think her name, I can't even remember. We'll call her Kelly. But I got a bigger room. Like, I was still on the same floor, but it was like 2 rooms down. I don't know where Shay moved. I used to see her around campus sometimes, but not really that much. So the next year I had a new roommate. We'll call her Kelly. She moved in. I think she was, so this would be my junior year. Yeah, so this would be my junior year because also both semesters, sophomore year, I stayed with Shay. So this would be my junior year. So got in the room. The room was bigger, fine. Kelly moved in. She was super nice. So for those of you who don't know, TWU is like an exit away from UNT, which is University of North Texas. So we'll go to the parties over there. It's like down the street, literally, like not too far away. We could share their library. We can go to their bookstore and buy books if our bookstore didn't have it was that close, and some things we could share with them and utilize their things. So she moved in and she was cool. Like, when I tell you, she would bring her stuff in, but she was never there. So it was like I had my own room the whole time. So I finally got all the polish off, but it was like I had my own room the whole time, which I really enjoyed. And come to find out, she had got married. Her parents didn't know. Their parents didn't know, but they had got married. And she was married to a guy that went to UNT. And she would be at his room the whole time, like basically living with him. She would come to the room sometimes to get some things. I'm just buffing them. She would come to the room sometimes to get some things, but she was never really there. So I loved it. It was like I had my own room the whole time. She was never really there. I maybe saw her 2 or 3 times the whole time, that whole semester. So after that semester was over, she said she was leaving. I think they were going to do something, get a place together. I don't know. But she moved out the room. So that left the room open for somebody else to move in. Okay, this is when we get into the stuff. So the fall semester, you leave on winter break. You can leave your stuff there. I left my stuff there because I was going to stay there the spring break. The spring semester. So I was going for winter break. I had already planned this. So it really didn't matter who it was. Since I had almost like enjoyed having a room to myself or whatever. Since I had already enjoyed having a room to myself, I had heard when girls were assigned rooms together, and if they didn't get along, that they would move one person out. So my plan was to be me, basically, and that she would go ask to be moved out, and then I would have my own room, the whole dorm to myself. So this was already planned. It didn't even matter who it was. And I was really hoping before this that they wouldn't assign me anybody. Like, they would only assign me somebody if it was like a new transfer or whatever. So while I'm home on winter break, I get an email that they assigned me a new roommate. And I guess let us get to know each other. They would send us each other's like contact information or whatever, so that we'll know that who's gonna be there. So while I'm on winter break, I was already annoyed when I got the email from TWU that they had assigned me a new roommate. So while I'm on winter break, she had emailed me to my TWU email address, and she was like, hi, I'm such and what can we call her? We'll call her Hannah. She was like, hi, I'm Hannah, and I'll be your new roommate. I'm so excited. She was so sweet. I feel so bad now in my adult life, but she was so sweet. She was like, I'm Hannah. I'll be your roommate. I'm so excited to get to know you. Here are some things that I like. This is my major. I like to do, like, just telling me a bunch of stuff. Really, 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 really sweet email. And she was asking me about myself and everything. And I think she was younger. Maybe she was a sophomore. Yeah, I think she might have been a sophomore because I think freshmen would have had to stay in a different dorm. So yeah, so she moved. She sent me the email. I was already annoyed. It had nothing to do with her. I was already annoyed. Okay, so I'm gonna put this. I got this with my coupon deals. When I go to CVS, I got this nail polish. So I'll put this on first and then I'll paint them. Do a clear coat. But yeah, so a base hardener, basically. So I didn't respond to her email at all. And then what is break? Is it like 3 weeks to a month? She had sent me like a couple emails and I just ignored all the emails. So when it was time to go back, she had moved in. So when I had got back, she wasn't in the room when I had got back from winter break for the start of the spring semester. But she had she had decorated her side of the room and it was cute too. She had all her stuff in there and everything. And I was just doing stuff. She had put her shower, I already had a shower curtain, but she had put her shower curtain in the bathroom on the other side of my shower curtain, which I was like, there's no need for 2 shower curtains. So I took her shower curtain down and just laid it on her desk. Like, no, I don't want your shower curtain in here. So I took it down and I put it on her desk. And I think she had put some other stuff like in the middle of the room too. And I just moved it and put it on her desk. Like, basically just being mean. So rude and so mean. I wouldn't do this today. It was all a part of my plot. And I do feel bad about it. This poor little girl probably... Anyway. Okay, so moving on. So I took the stuff down. I did whatever. And I was just sitting in there at my desk like doing something. I couldn't have had nothing. I was like watching... The TV was up here. And I was like sitting at my desk. Like my twin bed was over here. And my desk was over here. And then her twin bed was over here. And her desk was over here. And then like the bathroom and the closets was like over by the door. So I came in and I was just like, she wasn't there when I came in. I took the stuff down and I put it on her side, on her desk, like the stuff that she had put up for decorations in the shower curtain. I just put it on her desk. And I had sat at my desk and I was watching TV. I probably was just doing something on my laptop. I don't know. And then she came in and she was so excited. And she was like, hi, I'm Hannah. How are you? Da 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 da. And I just looked at her and I was just like, hi. And then she was like, so tell me about yourself. And she sat on her bed wanting to talk. And I just like turned to my laptop like I was doing something. And I just didn't talk to her. And I was just like, what you want to know? Like, you know, just anything. Like, what do you like to do? What's your major? And this and that. And I was just like, yeah, I really don't feel like talking. I really don't feel like talking right now. And I just like turned to my computer like I was doing something. And she was just like, oh. And then she like, you know, went away and went about her business doing whatever. So I didn't talk to her. I wasn't like me. I mean, I guess what I was doing was rude and it was mean. But I just kind of wanted her to go ask for a new roommate and that they move her out the room. So a little bit of time had passed and I was doing this. And I really wasn't talking to her or whatever. But it had been like, I don't know, like maybe 2 or 3, maybe 2 weeks that I was going on with the shenanigans for no reason or whatever. And nothing didn't happen. So by this time, I was like, maybe it's not going to work. Like, so I just like stopped doing it. I was like, maybe it's not gonna work. And I remember we had a snow day and we were in school was closed for the day. Classes were closed or whatever. So we stayed in. And I just remember, what did we do? Cause did we order pizza? Cause I want to say, did they deliver the pizza? Because it was like a snow day and classes was closed. But I think we had ended up, everybody was in. We had snacks and stuff. And my friends had came to the room and we had ordered pizza. Or we was about to order some pizza. And by this time, I had given up on like, me being mean didn't work. And she was still there and she didn't leave. So I was like, okay, it didn't work. Let me be nice or whatever. So I was like, do you want some pizza? Like I offered her some pizza and I could tell the way that she looked at me like, you talking to me? Like, I was like, yeah, what kind of pizza do you want? We're about to get pizza since we're in and we're going to watch the movies and we're going to do this and do that. So what kind of pizza do you want? And she was just like confused or whatever. And I feel like I still had in my old phone like videos of, because me and my friends, we were goofy and we were like dancing around the room. We were just doing stuff. And I feel like she was like sitting in her chair at her desk doing something while we were just being goofy. And we ordered pizza and I got her some and I didn't ask her for any money. Like I bought her the pizza or whatever. And she was like, oh, thank you. Like, oh, not, that was nice of you and blah, blah, blah. But I could tell she was looking like, because I didn't talk to her. She was like, are you talking to me? Like, why would you offer me pizza? And so after this, everything was fine. So that was like a week. We were out of school for like, out of class for like 2 days for like the snow. And then when that weekend came up, I went when the next weekend came up. No, I think it had to be a week after that. I had went home for the weekend. And when I came back on that Sunday night, all of her stuff was gone out the room. Everything was gone out the room. But I didn't know that, like, I had given up on being mean. I had started being nice to her by that point. But all of her stuff was, like, gone out the room. I looked in the bathroom. I looked in the closet. Her desk was clear. Her bed was clear. It was just the mattress. So I was just, like, confused. Like, I was happy, but I was confused. I was like, so did she leave, like, or whatever? So she didn't say nothing. She had left while I was gone for the weekend. And then, so I went to the RA and I was like, hey, all her stuff is gone. Like, did she leave or did something happen or, and she was like, oh yeah, she moved rooms or whatever. And I was like, so is this just going to be my room? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I just want to ask before I push these beds together. I never pushed the beds together, but I was just making a joke. But I was like, I just want to make sure before I push these beds together and have my own room. So this is my room now. And she was like, yep, it's pretty much your room. So she had left. I don't know where she went. She didn't say nothing to me. When she didn't say nothing to me when she was leaving. I just came back one day and all of her stuff was gone. Y'all, I'm no good at multitasking because I thought I would finish the story at the same time my nails were done, but I'm just getting started with the paint. But yeah, so I never really saw her anymore, and I had my own room for the rest of that semester. And I think, like, my friend said that they saw her one day and was like, hey, why did you leave? Or whatever. Because they were upset. I'm pretty sure they knew what I was doing before, but my friends were upset and was like, why would you leave without telling her you were going? But I don't know. I can't remember if they knew to the extent that I was, my plan or whatever, that I was being mean to her. Because I think they just thought that she was rude and, like, left without telling me. But really, she had every right to be upset and to leave without telling me anything. She didn't owe me nothing. But when my friends had saw her, they were like, we saw your roommate. We saw her. And we asked her, why did she leave? Or whatever. And she said that she just wanted to be closer to her friends on a different floor. And so I guess she had put it in a request to move rooms. And maybe it did work. And her request just took a long time to go through. But after those 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, I had given up on being mean. Because I didn't think it worked. But I guess it worked. This is looking like so far. I'm going to let it dry. This color cute, huh? But yep, so that was the story when I was a total witch with a B for no reason. She didn't deserve that at all. And she probably thought I was crazy. But I really did want my own room for the same price. Because my tuition or nothing didn't go up. Or my cost didn't go up. And I still had my room. And I also feel like... TWU was wrong for giving me that corner room the first time, and I didn't know that our room was smaller, but y'all was charging us the same tuition as everybody else, and we had a smaller space. We didn't get a discount. So it was kind of like, yeah, I'm just trying to justify it. I don't know. That was wrong. I was wrong. I shouldn't have did that. And I know it was wrong. But yeah, that's the story about that. But y'all go get my book off of Amazon. It's different little story times in there. I guess this not gonna work. I thought I would be able to multitask. But yeah, y'all go get my book. It's a story in there about a time that I went to New York and visited somebody in New York. There's a story time about me getting my tattoos when I was tattoo crazy, and then I wanted them removed, and the drama with that. It's a story time in there about, that's probably the like most messy one, about how I found out about this boy baby mama. And that one was crazy because the information just, like, I did not go looking for no information, and the way that information just fell in my lap like that was crazy. But yeah, y'all go check it out. Yeah, so maybe next time I can't paint my nails and talk. I can't paint my nails and talk. But OPI nail polish is really good, and you can get it at like Marshall's for a discount. How much was this one? This I spent $5.99 on this one because they are like $10 and $11, but you can find certain colors at Marshall's, and they really like last longer. When the season rolls around and they have those kits, those packages of nail polish for like $5 and $6, I always go get a bunch of different colors of them those nail polishes. This was looking like, I'm gonna clean them up. I paint them and I let them dry, and then I go through with the nail polish remover, and then I'm gonna clean up the edges or whatever. Should I do 2 coats? I'm gonna do one more coat. But yeah, so when the holiday season, they have those packs of nail polishes, I always get those. So I try out a bunch of different ones or whatever. I try out a bunch of different colors, and I've noticed on some of them, they're kind of cheap. They last on my toes though. But since I do so much with my hands and wash dishes and do the most, they start to chip after like 2 or 3 days. But if you just wearing it for like one day, then they are good to go. And the colors are cute and vibrant, but you can't wear them for like you can't wear them for like a week. You can only wear them for a couple days. But OPI is the one I can wear the longest, that doesn't chip as fast even when I'm doing my daily. And I also found this glitter, and I don't know if it's because it has the glitter in it or what, but I also found this polish at the Dollar Tree that I put on my nails, and it kind of lasts a long time when I put multiple coats and I put the glitter on it. So I don't know if it has something. Oh, it's down there. Did I have it? It's down there. I'll get it and show it in a minute. But it also had, that also lasts like a week too. And I don't know, I feel like it is hard to get off when you want to get it off too. You got to use the acetone. I thought I would be done. But this is the color. Let it dry. Let's do my second coat. I'm right-handed, so whenever I try to paint my right hand with my left hand, my hands shake. Gotta really concentrate the different. Okay, So what I'm gonna do is let this dry. I'm gonna clean the edges, and then I'm gonna do the cuticle oil. Well, I'm gonna do the top coat first, and then I'll do the cuticle oil after. And the next year after that, I just moved into the apartment, so I had my own room anyway. I shared with roommates, but they had their own like bedroom. So now what I'm gonna do is I put this kind of in a cap. Y'all better do y'all own stuff at home, man. They be charging so much, even for like regular manicure and nail polish and stuff at the nail shop. And I know a lot of people get gel, and they always try to tell me, get gel, it lasts longer. But when you get that gel, you can't take that stuff off yourself. I like nail polish, so that way I could take it off myself. I just messed this up. I'm gonna leave it. But yeah, I like regular nail polish, so I could take it off myself. I don't need them to drill. All right, y'all. This is what my nails look like so far. I put the top coat on them. I'm just gonna do the cuticle oil. So I just did the this side. I just did the cuticle oil. And this is what my nails look like. Thank y'all. Next time I'll try to time it better. But let me know if y'all like the story and like my nails. I would have been looking crazy if that would have been a big old bully. She would have beat me up. I'd have been crying and looking crazy. But I was wrong. I know I was wrong. But thank y'all for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. These my nails. Go get my book off Amazon and leave something in the comments if you care. Thank you.